How did the greatest city in human history simply vanish? Babylon. The name itself echoes with power. For 2,000 years, it was the center of the world, the gate of God, the birthplace of writing, law, and astronomy. But to history, it is remembered differently. The Bible calls it the mother of prostitutes, the city of sin, the place where human arrogance built a tower to challenge heaven, only to be struck down. We are told it was a den of vice, corruption, and madness. But how much of this is true? And how much is ancient propaganda written by its enemies? Did the Tower of Babel actually exist? Was the Hanging Gardens a real wonder or just a myth? And why did this invincible empire, protected by walls 20 feet thick, fall in a single night without a fight? Today, we peel back the layers of sand and scripture, from the brutal justice of Hammurabi to the madness of Nebuchadnezzar. This is the true story of the rise and fall of Babylon. To understand the fall, we must understand the rise. Babylon began as nothing more than a small, dusty port town on the Euphrates River. For centuries, it lived in the shadow of older, more powerful giants like Ur and Sumer, that changed in 1792 BC with the ascent of one man, Hammurabi. He wasn't just a king, he was a master strategist. While other city-states fought endless bloody wars, Hammurabi waited. He built his canals, strengthened his walls, and when his enemies were exhausted, he struck. In just a few decades, he transformed Babylon from a minor city-state into the capital of an empire that stretched from the Persian Gulf to the mountains of the north. But Hammurabi's greatest weapon wasn't his army. It was his law, the Code of Hammurabi. Carved onto a massive pillar of black diorite, it is one of the oldest legal documents in existence. We often quote it as, "An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth." It sounds like fair, brutal justice. But if you look closer, it reveals a darker truth about Babylonian society. Justice in Babylon was not blind. It was rigged. The society was strictly divided. At the top, the Owilim, the free landowners. At the bottom, the wardom, human property, slaves. If a noble blinded another noble, his eye would be gouged out. Fair. But if a noble blinded a slave, he simply paid a fine, half the price of the slave. To the law, a slave was not a person. They were a tool. Damaging one was no different than breaking a neighbor's plow. Yet this code held the empire together. It protected widows, regulated debt, and unified a chaotic region under one standard. For the first time, the rule of law was placed above the whims of men, but empires built on blood rarely last forever. After Hammurabi's death, Babylon crumbled. It was sacked by the Hittites, ruled by the Kassites for centuries, and humiliated by the Assyrians. The city was burned, flooded, and erased from the map. It should have ended there. But Babylon refuses to die. Fast forward to 605 BC. The Assyrians are gone. Rising from the ashes is the Neo-Babylonian Empire, led by the most famous builder and perhaps the most ruthless conqueror in its history, Nebuchadnezzar II. Under him, Babylon became the largest city in the world. Imagine walking through the Ishtar Gate, towering 40 feet high, covered in deep blue glazed bricks, shimmering like lapis lazuli in the desert sun. Decorating the walls were 575 dragons and bulls, symbols of the gods Marduk and Adad. This wasn't just architecture, it was psychological warfare. It told every visitor, you are entering the center of the universe. But Nebuchadnezzar is best known for what he destroyed, not just what he built. In 586 BC, tired of rebellions, his armies sieged Jerusalem. They breached the walls, burned Solomon's temple to the ground, and dragged the Jewish population back to Babylon in chains. This is the Babylonian captivity. For the exiled Jews, Babylon was a nightmare, a prison of idolatry and excess. It is here that the Bible's hatred for Babylon was born. They saw the ziggurats piercing the sky and called them arrogant. They saw the wealth and called it sinful. We are unraveling history's greatest mysteries every single week. If you want to join us on this journey, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It helps us keep digging. Now back to the mystery. Nebuchadnezzar's reign brings us to the two biggest mysteries of Babylon. First, the Hanging Gardens. Legend says he built them for his wife, Amytis, who missed the green mountains of her homeland. A man-made mountain of paradise in the middle of the arid desert. But here is the problem. We can't find them. Herodotus mentions them. The Greeks listed them as a wonder of the world. But Babylonian records? Silence. Nebuchadnezzar bragged about every brick he laid, yet he never mentioned a garden. Some modern archaeologists believe the Greeks got it wrong. The gardens might have actually been in Nineveh, built by the Assyrians, not in Babylon at all. A case of ancient mistaken identity. Then there is the tower. Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens. The Tower of Babel. Archaeology tells us this wasn't a myth. It was the Etemenanki, the temple of the foundation of heaven and earth. It was a ziggurat, rising 90 meters high, as tall as a 30-story modern skyscraper. To the ancients, it really did seem to touch the sky. It wasn't built to challenge God, but to connect with Him. But to the captive Judeans watching from below, this massive alien structure represented the ultimate arrogance of man. Nebuchadnezzar died, and with him, the iron grip of the empire loosened. Enter King Nabonidus. History remembers him as eccentric, perhaps even the first archaeologist. But his people, they hated him. Why? Because he turned his back on Marduk, the patron god of Babylon, to worship the moon god, Sin. He even left the capital for 10 years to live in an oasis in Arabia, leaving the throne to his son. That son was Belshazzar. The Bible tells a famous story. Belshazzar holds a great feast, drinking from the sacred vessels stolen from the Jewish temple. Suddenly, a disembodied hand appears and writes on the wall, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Whether the hand appeared or not, the end did come, but not with a bang. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great of Persia stood at the gates. Babylon had walls no army could breach and food to last for years. It should have withstood a siege for decades, but it fell in a single night. Greek historians claim Cyrus diverted the Euphrates River, lowering the water level so his troops could wade under the walls while the city slept. But the Babylonian records tell a different, perhaps simpler story. The people and the priests of Marduk were so tired of their heretic king Nabonidus that they opened the gates. They welcomed Cyrus not as a conqueror, but as a liberator. The greatest city in the world didn't fall to force. It fell from within. Cyrus spared the city. Alexander the Great planned to make it the capital of his world empire. But he died there, in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar, before his dream could come true. Slowly, The trade routes shifted. The people left. The mud bricks, once the pride of kings, crumbled back into the earth. Today, Babylon is a site of ruins south of Baghdad. Saddam Hussein tried to rebuild it, stamping his own name on the bricks just like Nebuchadnezzar. But those too are now ruins. The gardens are gone. The tower is just a foundation in the dirt, but the story remains. A warning that no matter how high we build or how powerful we become, eventually, everything returns to the sand. What do you think? Was Babylon truly a city of sin? Or was it a victim of history written by its enemies? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the ancient world, don't forget to like and subscribe. And for those who want to support our channel, check out our Patreon link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next mystery.